Good morning, students. Today, as you all know, that we are doing revision work for class 4 S.ST. Yes, in continuation of that, we have we are continuing with the second chapter or the second topic, that is weather and climate. Now we all know that how important is weather and climate of a place. Yes. Now when we talk about weather and climate, these two words are mostly misunderstood. Misunderstood in the sense it is confused with one another. We need to understand what is weather. Yes, the first thing that will think or we'll study is weather. Okay, now what is weather? Weather is not the atmospheric situation around us or the atmospheric environment around us. Whether it may be too hot, whether it may be too cold, yes, it may be humid, yes, but the key word here is at a particular time and at a particular place. These are the two key words that we need to understand when we talk about weather. Yes, so at a particular place and at a particular time, what type of atmospheric environment you have, that is called as weather. Yes, so in weather, what are the elements that we are talking about? We are talking about the heat, yes, the sunshine, the sun rays that we are getting. If it is maximum, then it is very hot. If it is minimum, it will be cold. Yes, areas which who will receive less sunlight will have colder areas or cold weather. Yes, if it is going to rain and there is lot of water vapor around you, yes, so you have a saturated type of weather. When you say saturated type of weather, that means you will be sweating a lot. Yes, so that is humid weather. Okay, if it is raining, then it is a rainy weather. Yes, so weather, what are the two key words? It is the same. You are talking about the situation or the environment around you with the help of temperature, humidity, sunlight, all these things. But the two keywords is at a particular for a certain time. Yes, I'll give you the definition of weather. Weather is a state of the atmosphere at a place for a certain time depending on heat, cloudiness, dryness, sunshine, wind and rain, etc. in that area. Now, in weather also we have two elements, that is the maximum temperature and the minimum temperature. Like if I take an example of a weather for a particular day, so I will see that what was the maximum temperature of the day. Say it may be at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it reached somewhere around 42 degrees. Okay. Yes, so maximum temperature and say at night somewhere around at 2 o'clock or say somewhere around at 11 o'clock at night, the temperature was minimum. That may be somewhere, if 42 was the maximum, it may reach somewhere around say 32 degrees. Okay. Say the minimum temperature was 32 degrees centigrade. Yes, so maximum and minimum temperature of a particular day, that 24 hours. Now, when you take out the difference between the maximum and minimum, it is called the range of temperature. It is called the range of temperature. Yes, so the range of temperature is 10 degree centigrade for that particular day. Yes, what is the range of temperature? 10 degree centigrade for that particular day. So now you come to know about the maximum temperature, the minimum temperature, and the range of temperature. Okay, yes. So I'll give you the definitions for maximum and minimum temperature. Maximum temperature is the highest temperature and minimum temperature is the lowest temperature during 24 hours. During 24 hours. The difference between maximum and minimum temperature is called range of temperature. What is it called as? The range of temperature. You can see the board for a while. To the second topic, that is climate. Yes. Now, what is climate? Everything in climate is the same as for weather, but climate is for a bigger place as well as for a longer duration of time. Longer means at least 30 years. At least 30 years. For at least 30 years, you should be experiencing almost the same type of weather. Yes, like in summer, every summer it should be the same. Every winter it should be the same for almost 30 years. Then that is called as the climate of that particular place. Yes. So what is the key word here? It is for at least 30 to 35 years. I'll give you the definition. The weather condition prevailing over a large area for a long period, that is 30 to 35 years, is known as climate. Actually, the climate of a place is considered as an average weather condition of a particular area. Average weather for what? For 30 to 35 years. Then it is called as it is the climate of a place. So what is the difference between weather and climate? In weather is temporary and changes frequently in small area, and climate is permanent weather condition for 30 to 35 years in large area. Like Delhi may have a weather of a sunny weather today, but the climate is continental type of climate. Yes, because it is where? It is far from the sea. Yes, in the same manner, if we talk about India, a larger area, what is the climate here? It is called as the monsoon type of climate. What type of climate it is? It is the monsoon type of climate. So this is what is the difference between the weather and climate. Yes. Now we come to the next topic, that is factors affecting the climate. Here we are going to do factors affecting the climate, because if you know what type of climate and what type of soil you have at a particular place, what will you know? You can know many things only by these two things. What type of crop can grow? Yes. What type of what type of clothing people wear? Yes. All these things. What type of food they will eat? All these things can be known just by knowing what type of soil and what type of climate. Even soil depends mostly on climate. Yes, so it becomes very, very important to understand the climate of a place. So we come to the second part of this chapter, that is factors affecting climate. Yes, factors affecting climate. Now, factors of the climate depends on where the place is situated. The first and foremost factor that affects the climate is distance from equator. First one is distance from equator. Now, if I show you a diagram, that is when I say that this is the sun, yes, and this is the earth. On the other side, we have the earth, yes. Yes, now we know the most middle latitude is the equator. Yes, so it is the 0 degree latitude and it is called as the equator. Yes, it is called the equator. So the sun rays falls directly on the equator. This is the shortest distance. This is also the shortest distance. That is the reason why the equator and the areas near the equator gets maximum heat of the sun. So this area is mostly hot. Not hot, but very hot. Yes. And this rays of the sun takes the maximum time, or there is a slanting rays towards the poles. We know that this is the 90 degree, that is the North Pole. Yes, this is the 90 degree here, this is the South Pole. So on both the poles you find that the rays is slanting, and because the rays is slanting, it takes maximum time to reach the poles. Yes, and while it is moving, the heat is all spread out. Yes, so till it reaches the pole, the degree of heat decreases. The degree of heat decreases, and that is the reason why we know that both the poles are frozen poles. It is very, very cold. Okay, so distance from the equator also tells you the climate of a place. It tells you the climate of a place. What is the thing? The areas near the equator will have temperature at a higher degree, whereas the areas which are near the poles will have what type of temperature? It will have lesser temperature. Yes, in fact in minus. Yes, somewhere around almost minus 42 degrees, 40 degrees you will find on the poles, and that is the reason why they are mostly frozen areas. Yes, both the poles. Okay, yes, you can see, understand. I'll also give you the explanation for it. At the equator, the rays are direct and vertical. Therefore, areas near the equator will receive intense and direct heat. Towards the poles, rays are slanting and spread over a large area. That is why areas near the poles are very cold. Okay? Yes? So I'll leave you with the board for a while. The second point is altitude. Altitude, height above the sea level. Height above the sea level. When we talk about height above the sea level, what are we seeing? What are we seeing? We are seeing that as you go higher than the sea level. Now, what do you mean by sea level? Because even if you take, say, 2 tanks or 2 buckets which are connected with the help of a pipe at the end, what will happen is that these, if we fill one bucket and keep the other bucket empty, the water will take its own level. What will happen? The water will take its own level. Yes, in the same manner, on the face of the earth, all the water bodies, they are interconnected water bodies, and that is why the sea level remains the same. All the seas and oceans have the same sea level. Yes, and we call that sea level as the zero level. Yes, after the zero level, as you go higher, yes, your meters are talked into positive numbers, and as you go down, they are counted as in negative numbers. Yes, you have talked about it in integers. Yes, positive and negative integers. Yes, so the same way, what are we saying? That as you go higher, what will happen? As you go higher, the temperature decreases. The temperature decreases. What is the phenomena, or what is the law? The law says that as you go higher above the sea level, what will happen? The temperature will decrease. Even like we have a best example for Rajasthan. Rajasthan, we know in summer season is very hot. Yes, but in Rajasthan, a place named as Mount Abu, yes, is cold than the desert area. Yes, it is cooler in Mount Abu. Yes, just because we know that it is a part in Rajasthan only. But what is the key thing here? That it is at a higher altitude. It is at a higher altitude than the surrounding place. So even being in Rajasthan, which is a very very hot state, especially in summer, Mount Abu remains cool. Mount Abu remains cool. Yes. So I'll just read for you. The height of a place is measured from the sea level. The temperature decreases with increase in height. The temperature decreases with the increase in height. That is why Mount Abu is cooler than Kota in summer, in spite of being in the same state. In the same state. Yes. So this class I'll end up here only. The next factors we'll do it in the next class, in the next video. Yes. Have a good day.